Bro, I really have no clue how these videos get any views, but we're just gonna go ahead and get into this here today. So I'm gonna be doing my back testing, and I'm gonna be talking about the levels that I'm currently focusing on in price, to go ahead and deepen my understanding of where liquidity lies. Okay, so we have many levels highlighted here on the daily. We're currently on the S&P, and we're also on the Nasdaq. So I'm going to start with the Nasdaq here. There's a lot. Let me clear that off real quick. Okay, cool. All right, so the very first thing we have to talk about with the NASDAQ is the fact that we're in optimal trade entry. So from this untested low to this untested high, which I have taken a note of, we are currently in a deep discount, okay? Now, what we're seeing here on the daily, this is a low with a higher low to the left and two higher lows to the right. What we're currently seeing here is what's considered a swing low. And the idea that I have currently, all right, these last, we'll say like 3 days, large displacement, okay? These are both a SIBI, so price is going to revisit these levels. All right, now when we look here, and I'm going to go back here later on, and I'm going to like share if this actually happened, of course. But anyways, we're focused on 14952.00 and 14140.25 as the most recent highs and lows. We are currently below relative equal lows. That being said, we're also in optimal trade entry, so it's reasonable to expect higher prices, at least for now. Now, currently, we are, seeing lower and lower prices, but my idea would be that price will return to this order block. And after it returns to that order block, we will not see it past the 50% mark. And if it does that, then we will wait, for additional indication to, look for potential buys in the market as price would trade to this level of buy side. This level of buy side, we have some relative equal highs here, here, and back here. Okay, so just gonna leave it at that. This is everything I'm looking at. This low, this high, this displacement. These clean levels as well, and these levels where we saw energetic movement. These are our impulse legs. Okay, yes, it's going to be the exact same logic because this is a correlated pair, right? ES is a little bit different. Now is it on this chart again? Not yet. Wait. Okay, right. So this back there. Right. All right, so this low right here on the Nasdaq, which is 14250, okay, we've already taken that level of sell side. Now, if we look here on ES, okay, this low, which would be the correlated low, and that rests at 4114, okay, that low has not been traded to. When we're looking at this, that honestly appears to me as like the current draw on liquidity here for ES. And that being said, we will focus on this, see if it creates a swing low, but ultimately we're gonna understand that just in general, okay, these pairs are going to mirror each other. So whether it will leave that sell side intact, I do not know, but what I can tell you in our parent leg here, from this low to this high, okay, we are in optimal trade entry. We are in a deep discount. And one thing we know about price is it's not going to want to remain in these levels for long. All right. So that's all I really have to say for that. And we're going to go ahead and drop into the 4 hour. Okay. Same thing here. So we're still on ES, but now we're on the 4 hour. Above ES, we have these relative equal highs. These are all relative to each other. There's also relative high here, relative high here. We have these relative equal lows, this low here, and we are below these relative equal lows here. All right, I took a note of this low again to this high. Those are the same levels that price rejected, or where we saw a quick impulse from, that I noted on the higher time frame charts. Here we are, it's the same exact thing, 14952.00, all right, all the way to 14140.25, okay? And in this, we are in optimal trade entry. If we actually measure this leg here on the NASDAQ, okay, from this high to this low, granted, we are also pairing this with a swing low, and being an optimal trade entry on a higher time frame, which we know these large institutions use higher time frames anyways. But from 0.62 to 7.9, we're in optimal trade entry. We do have a new week opening gap, which I'm going to elaborate on in lower time frames. But before we do that, let's go ahead and drop into ES. Same thing here. Here's our new week opening gap. Okay, right here where the mouse is. All right, and so same thing, you know, this low to this high, it's obviously the same exact thing, just more refined. Okay, these right here, in fact, let me take a note of these because these like highs are kind of criminal. Look at these. Okay, we're gonna take a note of these on the 4 hour. Let me do this. I'm just using this arrow to mark relative equal highs. So anywhere you see that, like relative equal lows here, we're below them. All right, relative equal highs left up here, relative equal highs left up here. Okay, so ultimately, the idea that I have in my mind, and I'm not trying to forecast price movements, but I am. But ICT directly tells me not to, so I guess I'm just not listening. But anyways, all right, listen, we're expecting, at least I'm expecting, with us being in a swing low on the higher time frame, I'm expecting price to trade to this level right here, or this new week opening gap. If it trades any lower than that, then I'm wrong. And you know, the idea of expecting price to return to this order block would also be wrong in my mind, at least for the moment. But we, you know, can see that here on the NASDAQ. We can see it returning to that new week opening gap, which is indicated by these two lines right here. In fact, let me just zoom in right there. Okay, so let's go down to the 4 hour. Oh yeah, oh, sorry. Also, displacement. This is SIBI. Okay, listen, price was not efficiently traded. It was only traded on the sell side, and that's why we had this aggressive movement. So now the market, or the algorithm IPDA, is going to look to rebalance those levels, and that's part of the reason that we're expecting higher prices for now as well. As I mentioned, you know, we have currently seen lower prices over and over. Like I mean, we'll refine this on a 15-minute. Let's just leave it at that. Let me not get ahead of myself. All right, listen. Same exact thing here. Large displacement move, but let me take an indication of that. I'll just put a little red thing here. Do red for the sell side. Sell side of balance, buy side efficient. Energetic movement. Cool. Let's drop down to the 1 hour. Okay. So here we are on the 1 hour. Now we're using the 1 hour to look at the weekly range. Currently, one thing we have to recognize, Friday or last Friday created these relative equal highs. Very first thing I'm noticing here is we have currently traded above those relative equal highs. All right, now that means that we are in a premium. The 2022 model in itself, we know that relative equal highs above them, that's where setups form. And we also know just in general that, you know, these smart money entities like to buy these highs because people see this as a breakout and they're gonna, you know, think that prices will continue higher. My idea is the same thing. We're expecting price to trade to this new week opening gap from here to here, which will be more, you know, refined as well. But here we are, same thing for ES, literally the exact same thing. Expecting price to currently trade here as we did trade above those previous days high, which would be Friday. We traded above Friday's high. We also created a new week opening gap, so that means there's no trading there. That is a inefficient level. Pair that with the relative equal lows that we created this Monday, and it's very, you know, high probability for it to go there. Now I'm still working on my process oriented thinking, so it might not be like 1,000% accurate, but just wanted to say that that's what we're looking at on the 1 hour. And of course, it's the same, you know, higher time frame levels. That's going to be where most of our analysis is. These are all just refined from that, and, you know, proving kind of what I'm saying. All right, so anyways, let's get down to the lower time frame, shall we? Okay. So here we are. I noted the highs and lows for the day. So those are in my journal. Okay, high being 4197.50 and this impulse low of 4152. Here we go on the 15-minute. This new week opening gap is a lot more refined and it's pretty big. Okay, same thing for this though. I would not like to see price trade past that half point. It's okay if the wicks do a little bit, but again, this needs to be respected for the idea that, you know, we're going to expect price to rebalance that range. that we're talking about here in the higher time frame, which is this displacement. Look at this displacement, all inefficiently traded, all sell side delivery. Okay, here we go. Boom, relative equal low, relative equal low, relative equal low, smashes it. 3 relative equal lows, smashes it. Boom, sell side taken. And again, you know, we're at least on the NASDAQ here, it's a little bit different. Okay, but we've already had the swing low pattern form here. Okay, low, higher low, okay, higher low here, and higher low to the right. That's what we're looking for in the pattern. We need, it's a 4 candle formation, and that's what we're expecting. So to wrap this up, the current idea that I have is that we are going to trade to that new week opening gap, which is a level of liquidity. We also have these relative equal lows lying, you know, beneath price, and we have those on both the ES and NQ. Same for the new week opening gap. Okay, so we are currently expecting price to trade to these levels before making its way higher, which is our overall higher time frame perspective and what we're expecting. When we get to these more lower, you know, refined time frames, expecting price to trade to these levels here. All right. That being said, we'll just end it off there. I just wanted to say, man, like, listen, bro. I've been fucking battling with depression, okay? Anyone watching to this point, bro? I've literally been battling this shit, bro. Like, last week, I hardly posted, and that's really just because I just haven't been feeling it, bro. Like, I look outside, I just feel down, bro, and I'm still unemployed, but, you know, that's probably why. Probably because I don't have a routine. But listen, your boy's getting back into it, and, yeah, that's pretty much all I want to say. I'm going to get back into it. You know, I've been doing it, and I'm sure that you guys can tell that this analysis has been great. Because, man, today was a fucking good day, and I'm going to keep that streak up. So we'll leave it at that. And, yeah, that's it.